Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Couldn't my thing wasn't working. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Now can you guys hear me? My thing was not working. I had to restart my phone. It was not letting me log in. So you guys could hear me. Aha! I found my charger. Thank goodness. That was gonna piss me off. I knew I had to put it somewhere. Yay! My charger. I'm happy, happy. Joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. Little things that make Megan happy. Little things that makes me happy. I found my charger. I found my charger. All right. We are on the home stretch. One, take a one, one. Hello? Check Discord. Okay. Hello, Jen. I did check Discord. Oh my God, Aqua. Don't cause trouble. I do that enough as it is. I found my charger, guys. I'm happy. I found it. I found it. I found it. And I was right where I would put it, and I just didn't think about it. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hold on, guys. I had to clean up. I don't like bowling. Is Meg's working? Yes, she is. I'm working today. I am. But I only have to finish this house, and then I will be all done with this house today. There goes the phone. I'm so good at dropping my phone. Well, that was a lot of that was. No bullies allowed. No bullying allowed. Nope. Hi, girl. Amen. Hold on. I'm getting a phone call real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Someone's coming up. Someone's coming in. Someone's coming in hard. I have a funny feeling. Yep. It's hit the way. It's so someone has hit the algorithm, and everybody now knows someone is back. Foxy's coming. Foxy's coming. I love my Foxy. I love my Foxy. She's charging her phone and she'll be up here shortly. Yep, yep, yep. Foxy, I love my Foxy. What's the She's say hi. Here, I'll drop the link if anybody else wants to come on up. Foxy, Foxy, Foxy. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette real quick. There we go. No motivation. No motivation. Oh my god, I really need to get off and clean my place. I've done nothing in days. Oh, bummer. How's everybody doing? What's the weather like where everybody else? It's 76 right now for me. Oh, I'm tired of this house. I'm over this house already. Some things never end, I swear to God. Maybe they need to come more often. Maybe they need you to come more often. When this house was destroyed, and I'm on the tail end of it, and I'm tired of it. Okay. I'm tired. I just want to be done with this house. I am over this house by now. For sure. Hold on, I gotta take this to my car real quick. One more time to the car. You gotta get busy. You gotta get busy. I'm busy. Hope you have a great day. Okay, have a nice day, Jen. All right. Now I just have to mop this really good. Just clean this really good. Ah. Ah. That was a lot of work. Everything I just had to take outside. I'm tired now. All right. I'm on the home stretch of this stupid house, though. All right. Now I just have to take this down. Yeah. And sweep all this up so it can be mopped and be perfect. There's that. Vacuum. Oh, oh, wait. There's that. I just had to mop. Okay. I just had to mop in here. That's done. I'm tired of this house. It never ends. It's never ending. Never ending. All right. This can go. I put down my phone and I don't know where I put it. Hold on, guys. There it is. All right. Now I'm getting there. Okay, so that's done. That's done. I just need to vacuum in here one more time. You just need to make sure it's all clean. I'm gonna get a new one of the. Oh, there's that. Good. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, that's clean. That's clean. All right, now we gotta place this. Oh, ain't all. Hello, Action. How are you? How was your first day of work? How'd your first day of job go? What did you do? What's your job now? How'd you like work? It was good. What are you doing? What do you work? What are you working? Are you still working for the strip club? They didn't fire you yet? Not as much semen on the floors as you all think. Cornhole! Oh, I hate trying to put a new one of these things on. It never works. It's never easy. It's always difficult to put it on. Cornhole! How many men did you have to prepare for the movie? How many men did you have to prepare for the movie today, Cornhole? Just two. Ah! So frustrating. Slow day, eh? Eh? Got it. Got it. That was a lot of work to do all that. There. Might have to step it. Might have to step in tomorrow. Oh, it might. It's midget dick porn. I didn't know. Yeah, it's anal Tuesday or Thursday. Oh my lord. You too. You too. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Well, at least you'll slip in and out easily. Oh. All right. We are on the move. We are on the move. We are on the move. All right. Then I just gotta double check everything and make sure everything is good. The bathroom is clean. Headed to reach. Hard to reach him these days. I heard Diddy had a couple of bottles for you. Yeah, apparently he can't call. He can't take calls right now. I love all you guys that come and visit me. Love all of you. Success required. Oh, I'm gonna pop. Oh, you're gonna pop. Your collar like with Usher. I'm gonna ask my agent to get in touch with Usher. He might have some. Oh, you're gonna pop your collar with Usher. Success. You might be a cornhole. Let it burn. Yeah, you're right, cornhole. Let it burn. You two are so entertaining. You guys are entertaining me to the highest, fullest right now. Just so y'all know. Just so you know, you're entertaining me highly. Okay, that's done. That's done. I'm just gonna wipe that down. Vacuum. I'm gonna wipe this down. Gonna wipe it all down. Wipe that front end. Wipe this all down. Yes, I'm talking to myself. I am. When you answer yourself if there's a problem. She's 500 an hour though. Just some seasoned therapist will help me cope with the pain of success. All right. I didn't have to wipe that now. Wipe everything. I need to clean that with Windex. Now that I see how dirty it is. And then, so what am I gotta do that? Gotta do that. All right. I'm gonna go get my Rockstar. Then I just gotta get all of it done. Then I'm out of here. Hold on, I gotta take this to the garbage. I'm sorry, I kicked myself off because my mom called. This is too easy. I don't mind. When I get my check, I'm gonna get a face tattoo to mask mask the pain. You two are literally cracking me up right now. Just reading this commentary that you guys have got going on, it's cracking me up. I do really feel bad for Justin Bieber, though. Oh my lord. Yeah, he's the one that got the run of it. Diddy is a monster. Yes, he is. Well, I'm sure we will soon hear the confessions. Yep. Here comes Foxy. Here comes Foxy. I love my Foxy. Ah. Hello, Miss Foxy.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I love to hear your voice. I miss you.
I miss you too, Megs. How have you been doing?
Good, good, good. How have you been?
Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, it's been a bit of a struggle. I was freaking had that cold chest, head and cold chest, and then I had the flu, which I thought 100% was the COVID, but who knows? Because it tested negative twice. Anyway, we won't go there. And then I took a fall and scraped up my leg, and then oh my god, then my fibro with the achy pains in the brain, and it's just been devastatingly hard. But I'm on the mend, so it's
Wow,
all
that's
good.
a whole lot of information in that one sentence there.
I know it was a loaded question.
That was a loaded question. So
No,
what?
I'm okay.
So are you
I'm
all? Are
doing
you?
better.
I was gonna say, are you on the mend now?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Yeah, I just got to get my shit together. Get my life back on track. Like, when you get sick, you don't realize how much it just puts everything on hold. And, as you know, I'm doing a life purge of my apartment and my life and just trying to get things organized. And so everything gets pushed back. And then of course, when you're not feeling well, you have no energy. So my tarot channel gets pushed back. And then, oh, it's just been a lot. But I'm getting there. I'm hoping that I'm thinking probably like I'm going away this weekend for Thanksgiving to see my brother and my niece. And
Nice.
so, yeah, so that'll be a nice getaway. And then when I get back, things should start to be kind of adjusting in the right direction in terms of like being a bit more consistent again and being regular. It's because you want to show up and be there for people's channels, and you want to be on your own channel and be consistent. And it's hard when you're thrown in a, in
Oh,
for a loop every now and then by the universe. Like you get up, slap back down. Nope, you're not done yet. So but yeah, no, I think, November and then December. And of course, I'll probably be away for a weekend in November for visiting friends and family over the holidays and like late December. But other than that, everything should be back to normal. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Yeah. Yeah.
you are a burst of energy always. I love it.
Listen, even when I'm sick, people are like, I don't understand it. How are you so happy? I'm like, I don't know. Just shut up. I just am. I can't help it. Why be miserable? No, it doesn't help anyone else.
No,
So.
I agree. Why? People always ask you how you do, and I'm like, I could complain, but no one will listen anyway.
Oh, I know. I could go down the whole long list of things, but it's just easier because I know people that are here know me and my channel and stuff like that there. But like people who like, at work, I'm like, oh, I'm great. How are you? you know, like why would you want to like, oh, well, I got all these 100 things going on. I'm miserable. Thanks for asking. No, just like great, thanks, and keep it moving.
Keep
But
moving, keep it moving.
But yeah, but the people that know me, I'm like, I'm pretty authentic and straight up. I'm like, yeah, I feel like shit, but I'll be better. So, yeah.
So, so,
Yeah.
uh, we're- so you had the flu, huh?
I had a head cold and chest cold for a week and a half. Then I had the flu for 2 weeks. And then 1 week, I'm not sure what that was. I'm pretty sure it was COVID. So I had like 4 or 5 weeks of like just hell on earth. But it
Oh,
was right
I'm
when I
so
got back from
sorry.
my trip. Oh, listen, it's fine. It was right when I got back from my trip to Nevada, and I'm pretty sure I caught it like in Boston when I was waiting around, or in LA when I
Oh,
was
yeah.
waiting around for a couple
Every
thousand
time you
hours to get
fly,
home.
anytime you fly, you're bound to get sick. It's
Yeah.
like
Even
it,
with a mask, it's like, oh,
yeah,
you can't escape it, so why bother? I'm just like, whatever. If I catch it, I catch it. I get through it. That's that. Hopefully, I don't
yeah.
catch it again, and but
I managed to go 4 years without COVID, and I was like, I'll never get it. And then when
me
I tested,
too.
when I tested positive, I was like, Are you fucking kidding me? Like seriously?
I
Like
went
I,
through the same. Oh my God, same. And then when I went to Cuba, I caught it in Cuba. Ruined my whole vacation. You remember?
yes. You
I
were
went through
stuck.
all COVID. I never wiped any can down, not a knob, I never used freaking hand sanitizer. I was like, whatever. Never caught it. As soon as I'm, in another country, boom. It's like, really?
Yeah. Well, and I just caught it. Like, I swear to God, like, I've always said I clean up after it. So I was like immune to it. I was like, I'm never going to get it. And then when I got it, I was like, I was really, really, I don't know. I was really, really lucky. With my COVID experience, I never lost taste. I really didn't. I just wanted to take off my nose and throw it. But other than
Yeah,
that, like, I, I really didn't have the, um,
yeah.
I didn't have most of the symptoms or feel like I was dying.
Well, I had long COVID, so mine lasted for like months,
Oh,
and
bummer.
yep, and it developed tinnitus, which has mysteriously disappeared since I had the last quote unquote COVID, not COVID, last month and this month. So it's completely cleaned up, which is weird. I said to a friend of mine, it's almost like, they kind of gave us all these vaccinations. You might get flagged for your YouTube for talking about this, by the way, but you give all these vaccinations out, and we're like, oopsie daisy. Okay, we got to release another virus that corrects that.
Yeah.
I feel
I don't
like
think
that's
I'll
what
get flagged.
happened.
I don't think I'll get flagged. I've been flagged. I haven't been flagged for talking about COVID, and well, I'll tell you, the only time that I realized that I did something really bad with COVID is I was like, I got tested and I have the big C, and I think someone came forward and said the big C is not COVID, it's cancer, and
I know you can't say that. Oh
I went,
God.
oh, oops. So I had to
Yeah.
retitle that live, but
Oh God. Oh God. That was your title?
yes, I didn't even.
Oh no.
I didn't. I didn't even think about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and then someone very nicely called me on it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I don't want everybody to think that I have cancer now, so I better change that real quick.
Oh my God, that's so hilarious. Yeah, I know. It's shitty, but whatevs. It is what it is. And it's that time of year too. It's just that time of year. Everybody
Yeah.
gets sick this time of year. I'm
Well,
just
it's
looking
whenever.
at chat. Sorry.
What's that?
I'm just looking at chat, seeing who's in here, because for some reason on my TV it's not scrolling like it normally does. Maybe there's just not a whole lot of chat going on for to scroll, but
There's not a lot
I
of
just want.
whole lot of chat going on.
I see Aqua's in there. Hey Aqua, what up, girl?
Yes, Aqua loves you.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. And Action Jackson's here, I see. Hello, Action
Yes, and,
Jackson.
and his favorite word, he will always give you the word of the day. It's anal.
Ew. No, the word of the day is Foxy.
Yes,
Let's be
exactly.
vain. Foxy and Megan takes over the world. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, did you
I don't
see
know.
that? Did you see that someone's back now and is already putting out videos about me again?
Who's back?
A for J.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah.
God, spill the tea. Okay, tell me what's up. I missed a lot. Okay, go ahead, start.
Okay. So
Okay.
apparently, because my son works somewhere, she thinks that he works for a company that was for protective services or something like that. Which let me just tell you, my son wouldn't protect anybody if his life depended on it. He's a weakling, and he would be
Hmm.
scared of anything. He'd be like, "Nope, check him out." So no, he was like he never worked for where she's saying that he worked for, and then she still thinks that I have umpteenth the number of kids.
Well, the thing is, you shouldn't have to justify yourself, number one, because she's an idiot and a crazy person. Number two, everybody who knows you knows, like, okay, whatever, it's old news, right? We know that
Right.
we
That's
got
what
the
I'm saying.
skinny. Like, we
Like,
don't need any more, it's ridiculous. So I wouldn't pay
yeah.
no mind to her.
I didn't even pay it. I'm like, she's like, I have questions for Megan. And I'm like, bet you wish you could
You should
talk
say,
to
I got
me.
questions for you, you crazy freaking nutty ass person.
Yeah.
Walnut. You're a walnut.
She is she is she's a walnut.
Well, when you crack a walnut in half, it looks like a brain.
Yes.
And it's full of nuts, so it's like, she's a walnut.
Yeah.
I just came
She
up with
is
that. I'm pretty impressed with myself.
yeah, she's crazy. She's nuts. She is nuts. And she
I'm
thinks
just
that
joking.
she thinks that she thinks she's God's gift and that everybody has to bow down to her. I'm like, oh honey, no one likes you, no one cares about you. They only watch you, and they only watch the videos because they want to laugh.
They only
So
know about her because of you know who, of the word we don't use
yeah,
channel. And
yeah,
so it's kind of like if she had never given her kind of any, uh, I guess attention, she wouldn't have. I mean, listen, I could have piggybacked off that and had a channel that had 4,000 views every live I had too, right? I could have launched my other channel,
yeah.
but I wasn't that person, so
Well, and I always say I built their channel, and
you sure
you know,
did. You
like they,
sure did. You
yeah,
definitely did. Yes.
yeah. On my name built their channels. I mean, like Scroll on Fire, which
All your crazy
so
shenanigans, and oh my God, those were the days though. I might have told you it was fun. Fun.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, nope. And that's why my title is Things Never End. I swear to God. It's been 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let Kylie rest. Let her be.
Ah, yes. God bless her. Just leave her alone. Let her sleep and slumber in peace. And I mean, unless something. Listen, okay. Since you brought her up, because I don't
Yep.
ever bring her up, you know that. But
Yeah.
the rule is when you bring her up, I can talk about it. So,
Yep. Yep.
um, that's Megan I's rule. So, okay, here's the thing. I've always had my reservations. I've always had my, speculations, my concerns, just like everyone else when it came down to, going down the rabbit hole. But at the end of the day, you have to sometimes step away and say to yourself, okay, A, B, and C, and D doesn't make sense, but we're never going to know the truth anyway. So why am I going to consistently keep giving my energy to something I'm never going to understand fully or be given truly the information that is truthful, right? So that's when you kind of just have to like, okay, let's just put it behind me and move forward. Unfortunately, other people cannot do that. And they're like hell bent on accusing this person and that person. I'm surprised this person's not getting sued all over the place, to be honest with you. But anyway, and this person, this person, this person. And then, and then they delete all their videos and start all over with a new group of people. It's like, it just seems to me click, 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 send me your money. That's all it is. It's clickbait, right? So I mean, especially some of these channels that like cover these cases for months on end, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, what are they doing? Like, is this for the children? I don't think it's past that. Like, I think it's past that now. I don't
A
know.
hundred percent.
That's just me. Yeah.
100%. I think that, I think that, there's a lot to be said about, like, like I've always said, there's a lot to be said where, people have to move on. People have lives and everything else. People need to say enough is enough. Like the
Right.
MAT reports come out, they're not going to change anything.
No.
CHP have they've dotted their I's, they've done what they're going to do. It's over and done with. And,
And
you know,
regardless if the documents don't make any sense, like that's the thing. We're never going to see the real documents, folks. It's not going to happen. That's under lock and key. No one ever will. The only people that see the real documents will most likely be the parents and the police
yeah.
involved and whatever the investigation was. Like, honest to God, there are people, and I don't know if people realize this on YouTube, but I found out that there are people placed, literally handlers in the YouTube world to put out this information so that we have stuff to run on to direct us in another direction. And that's fine. But people take this information and like, oh, it's the truth. And like, oh, it's all wrong. And this doesn't make sense. Well, maybe it's because it's false documents. You don't know. You don't know. Do you work for the department that released that document?
Well,
No. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Just don't get me started. The only thing I want to say this before I close off that
well, like you
conversation
and like
is
you
this. People need to move the fuck on unless you're directly involved. Then you have a right to speak on it, like yourself or say Sammy or whoever wants to step forward and say, but that's their business, right? But for everyone else, it's kind of like unless you have information you want to share that you think is new, or you want to bring her memory and keep it alive, and do memoirs or whatever, that's fine. But let's like leave the family. Let's just leave. Let's stop saying Joe and the trees did it. Like I'm tired. It's tiring. Oh.
well, and like
Yeah.
this is sometimes, and like you kind of just said it. Sometimes the easiest answer is just the answer. In
Right.
other words, they can think. You can make it up to be whatever you want, like in your head. but like the answer could just, there was an accident that happened. People say accident because you can't do it again if you tried. Like,
Right,
so,
right. And I
like,
mean, you and I offline have spoken about what I think happened and, whatnot. But I would never air that out into the world because it doesn't, then I'm now part of the conversation. You see how that works?
yeah.
So
Well,
a
no,
lot of these
and it
channels,
does.
that's how they got dragged in, right? It's kind of like they get dragged in because they make a comment and they just think, oh, I'm going to say this, 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 and this. And then the next thing you know, they're on panel and then they have a YouTube channel of their own covering the same case on the backs of someone else. Like it just seems sort of, I don't know, wrong to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Eh. Well, like I said, it's
Just
just,
God love her though. I mean, she was a beautiful young girl.
hi,
Unfortunately,
Mr. A. How are
you
you?
know, but I got to meet you through that whole event and lots of other wonderful people that were brought all together because of it. And if you have to see the silver lining in it, that's what I like to look at. So,
Absolutely. 100%.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like that's what I say too. Like, I've met some horrible people in my journey.
Me too.
I've met some horrible, horrible people in my journey, but
Let
I've
me say
also met
that
some
twice.
wonderful people like Kristuma, like yourself, like Crazy Mama, like Larissa.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some, and I'm really, I'm forgiving
Art.
to a fault and
That's
everything else.
mm,
What are you all talking about? Nothing much. We're just talking.
just shooting the shit, Mr. A.
Yeah. I think that like, and so I wouldn't change. Someone's asked me before, would I do it? Many people have said, would I do it before or would I do it again?
Of course you would.
Absolutely, I would do it
Yeah.
again. Like,
Yeah, because you did what you thought was right in the moment. Whether you had all the facts or not is regardless. Whether you said the wrong things at the wrong time or whatever word salad, how they used to say it about you, whatever. It is what it is. It happened. Like we are all humans. We all make mistakes on how we communicate. Like you can't hold somebody accountable for putting a vowel or a fucking I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, it's just
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. A. We're just talking about my where we go down memory lane when someone shows up on
Yeah.
my
Memory
panel.
lane.
Memory lane. But I've met some wonderful. Like I said, I've met wonderful people that I will always talk to throughout my life, and like they're
Some
not,
I will not.
yeah, some that I will choose never to speak to again in my life.
Mhm,
And like I said, you have to find all the bad ones before you can find the good
mhm,
ones sometimes. And I did. I found
mhm,
all the bad ones right off the bat. I had a I had
mhm.
a I have an uncanny way of finding the negative first. And if they, I always tell people if they don't like me, there's a reason. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm very nice to everybody. If you're not nice to me, I'm not going to be nice to you. And I
Mhm.
met some. I am listening. Okay. Eh,
So, just to change the subject, so we don't get too far down the rabbit hole of our
yeah.
past. What do you think? So, what else is going on the YouTube streets? Have I missed? I know I've been out for weeks. I
So what
haven't
do you
even been
think?
watching.
Okay, so we'll change the story completely. What do you think about the Diddy stuff?
Oh my God, that's all I've been watching. Like, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it. Well, I predicted this on my channel 2 years ago. Number one. Number two, he's not the only one going to be going down with this. He's not the one in charge either. Number three, there's going to be a lot of people coming forward, and I said this in the first of the year when this started breaking again, that you would not believe is on this list will come forward. Like they will be, like the information will come forward. Like this was the year I told it on my channel. This truth will be revealed. This is the year of truth. It's the number 8. It's cycles. It's about transitioning, moving forward. You know, history repeating itself, and this, that, and other thing. And it's also about having light shined on the darkness and seeing truth for what it is. It all comes out in the wash. It all comes out in the end. Everything comes to the like the cream comes to the top of the crop, right? So does the
Right.
truth. And this was the year for that. And when this all started breaking, I was having conversations with people offline. They're like, how the fuck do you know? Well, I don't know how I knew. I just had a feeling because I was watching things happen in the media and I understand how the industry works because I lived in California. Like I lived in Hollywood. Like I lived in I lived in Burbank. My mother worked for a movie company. Like I have some background. So I kind of understand the dirty, seedy parts of it. And I know the history. Like anybody can figure out the history by watching anything on YouTube. I mean, just go back to Judy Garland, to the Little Rascals. I mean, it goes, as long as there's been an industry in the media, whether that's radio, movies, music, theater, even ballet. I mean, there are all kinds of terrible things that happen. Okay, you get essays, accused of this, accused of that. You get battery. Okay, drug problems. Okay, orgies and all these sex parties, and then all these satanic cults that pop up out of everywhere. But the thing that's the most interesting to me about this is
Steve
how
Harvey
so
pimping
many.
his daughter to him. I'm reading chat. Sorry. He needs to be locked up. Steve Harvey pimped his daughter.
Yeah,
I
I
think
saw that. I saw that a
I
lot.
think
And the
that
thing is that you have to be, listen, everybody has to have discernment with this, because there's a lot of information coming out that might not necessarily be true, right? Just because you're on
yeah.
that list doesn't mean you attended a Diddy party. Like, you know what I mean? Like the party that, you leave before the party starts party, right? Um, and now the thing that's the most interesting to me though is this tunnel. Have you heard this? That they found under his house that leads to Michael Jackson's property?
Oh, I have heard he had tunnels underneath his house, but I didn't know it led to Michael Jackson. I think that
And
there's
that could be false information, right? But I just find it
yeah.
interesting, like how big this is getting, and like how it's taking away from what though, like why now? Why is all this happening now? What do they not want us to be paying attention to in the media? What is happening in the election? What's happening in politics? What is going on in the world that they don't want us to pay attention to because we're so consumed with the horror of what's going on with this celebrity, who, by the way, was connected to, in my opinion, allegedly, um, intuitively, the Epstein files. Okay, so I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot. Cat Williams is not the only person. People have been talking about the industry for years. Corey Feldman came out in the fucking 80s and 90s. No one wanted to pay attention to him. They thought he was crazy. They thought he was just some kid who wanted attention because his career went down the hill, you know? Um, you know, poor Corey Haim, rest in peace. Like, I mean, the kids from Nickelodeon all came forward. This shit's been going on forever. It's just that nobody thought, oh, the music industry, oh, the music industry. You know what happens at Disney. You know what happens in the movies. We know what happens on the set of things, blah, blah, blah. But in the music industry, hell no. Like, they're perfect. No, they're not. So I think a lot of people who are in that bubble are now starting to come and say, like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is happening. Well, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, not one bit. Steve Harvey doesn't surprise me if he's involved. Oprah Winfrey, allegedly, if she's involved, doesn't surprise me at all, because they're all shady. Anybody who makes a certain amount of money over, I had this conversation with somebody last
I
week.
was I was
If
just gonna
you,
say I said the
yes,
exact same thing yesterday. Is that it's just like Donald Trump. It's just like every politician. It's just like everything else. When you're in a certain tax bracket or in a certain mogul aspect of who you are as a person,
you are then indoctrinated
you
into a
are you.
specific
It's
group of people.
well,
And
it's
if
like
you choose to elevate your career, then you do what they say. If you don't, then you walk away, like Cat Williams did, like, all these other people that are like, So yeah, there's an expectation, right? So are you okay with making 3, 4, 5 million a year? I mean, like Christ, I would
yeah,
love
well,
to make
and I think that you're exactly
sixty
right.
thousand
Is that
dollars a year.
yeah,
I'd be
like I
happy.
mean, that you don't
But
get
then they get
you don't get to
greedy.
that level of public
Like the
scrutiny.
right.
I was gonna
And
say, but
like
you
it's
don't get to that
true.
level. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, sorry, I'm so like, if anybody doesn't know, like, I have ADHD too, so me and Megs get crazy when we're talking, and we apologize. I apologize if I'm cutting her off, but if I don't say this, it'll get out of my head. I'll lose it.
Yeah,
Um, the industry, like, there is the old expression, they sign their name to the devil, because it's true. Like, these people sign their career over to other people to manage their life. Like, they don't, like, look at Britney Spears, right? Look at Michael
yeah.
Jackson. Look at all these child stars that came up and made, I mean, like just a mountain of money for people who got taken advantage of and used and abused, and
Well, that's
drug
what I was
through
just gonna. You're going on piggybacking off what you're saying is that you don't get to that status of your career without being shady at some point in
yes.
time. You know, like
At some level in your life, you are given an opportunity to either step over that line or discernment to know better, right?
yes,
And some
exactly. Well,
people are
that's
so
exactly.
consumed with greed and fame and, trying to be the best of the very best that they don't even see what's happening.
Well,
And then they're in it
here's
and
the
it's
other
too
thing
late.
too, and it's just like Johnny Depp. It's just like everybody else that is in that status. Is that there are people that are in your life to be a
Hmm.
no person and to call you out on your shit, and then there's people that are there to be a yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir. There, most of people in Diddy's life and most of people in Steve Harvey's life and all of these people that are going through this, they're around yes ma'am, yes sir, yes
They
ma'am.
don't have anybody around them but yes people makes because they're all narcissists, right? It's the narcissists that cross the line. It's the people that don't live and don't walk in God or the light of love, and kindness. Those are the people that cross the line. The people that don't give any fucks. It is so open. That's the thing too that's scary. It has been thrown at us for 5 years just in our face like as if somebody threw up the debauchery and the evil and the grossness that is of content that we've been, consuming like with our eyes for years. Like take the that artist, that crazy artist with the blood and the freaking, she's like some kind of weird devil witch and but it's art, right? Lady Gaga, remember? She went to this big party and they had the girl and the blood and all this. Oh, but it was an art. It was a staged art exhibit. Okay, sure. Then you have, this other crazy witch that's showing up in all these celebrities' pictures. Like, who is she? With the long stripe down her face. That's all shamanic devil shit. Like, it's dark. It's very dark. And like they show it to all of us. And we're like, oh, that's interesting. We don't really see it for what it is because they tell us it's something else, right? It's like that old expression, buy an apple, but the inside could be rotten,
Yep.
right? It looks good on the outside, but you're going to have a rotten apple in there. And that's kind of what the industry is. There's a certain core. When you get to that core, it's completely rotten. And there's a cult. Absolutely right, Mr. A. It is a cult that exists deep within that core. And if you step that line, that's it. You're done. You give your soul over. You sold yourself, but whatever you're done for. And then they, probably, have all kinds of stuff on you so that you can't get out of line and they blackmail you with. And like at these
Well, I
parties,
was
like
gonna say that,
Epstein.
and that's exactly what it is. Is that like Epstein and P Diddy and all
Yeah.
of these people, they're around. They are horrible
And then they're
people.
stuck and they're
Yeah,
trapped and they can't get out and they
and
can't
they can't
speak
get
up and
out
they
of it.
can't tell nobody because
Yeah,
then they're implicated. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
they get stuck in it because even if they want it out, they can't get out. Like they
okay,
can't be like,
think of this, for example. Say you are a male actor and you're in the industry and you're an up and coming male actor and you're the new hit thing. Everybody's loving you. You got all these contracts and all these things and all these deals, whatever. Take the fact that all of these music mongols and movie companies they own everything. They're all in it together. And okay, say that's not the truth. And then you go to one of these parties and then you're drugged, right?
yeah.
You're knocked out. You're thrown into a bed with like
Well,
maybe a
here's
bunch
my
of
thing too. Here's my thing
inappropriate
too.
situations, right? And then they use that against you. So now you can't go out and say this thing's happened because then your career's ruined. Because they're going to say,
Yes.
yeah, sure, you were drugged. Sure, he drugged you. Sure. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's exactly what
So,
I was gonna say. That's what I was just gonna say too. Is that you have to take accountability that you went to the party, that you were a part of the party, you went to the party, you signed up for the party. So now they're looking at it going,
here's the thing.
"Oh,
If you went once and you left and you're like, oh, hell no, and left.
right,
Okay, fine. But if you went back, Megan, knowing what you knew, you're that in my books. No, that's guilt. No. Like
yeah,
Ashton Kutcher going back to all those. Oh, but I have a theory of Ashton Kutcher, by the way. I have a
oh, what's
theory.
there?
I think he's an FBI informant.
Oh,
I think he went undercover. I think he was a plant. Because if you remember in the early 90s, like right up until 2020, I want to say 2010, maybe even longer than that. he's been involved with child trafficking cases. Like I've seen him live in certain hearings where he's gone and tried to advocate for sex trafficking and child trafficking and all these types of things that are in the world, right? Like he's gone and advocated for it in so many ways. So for him to participate, just I mean, listen, it could happen. Like a lot of people are crazy and evil, but I just have this instinct that he is an informant and he was planted to gather information, and that's how and that's why this is all coming out. And I
Interesting.
also think that Jaguar Knight, God love her, she's amazing. I'd love to have her on my channel if I ever opened it up to this. She's amazing. That she also understands that once you were brought in to be interviewed by the feds, because you're on a video that you're at a party, maybe you didn't do nothing, maybe you're just there, but because you're now investigated, they own you. You have to do what they fucking tell you to do, whether you did anything or not. So then you have to go back to these parties and keep reporting what the hell you're seeing. You see, that's how it works. And all they need is one person to go in and say, oh, this is what's going on. And then they pull somebody, another one, and they pull another one, and they pull another, and all of a sudden they have all this information. And they wouldn't have arrested him unless they had a case, Megs. They would have had to been building a case for a very long time. Now, when they let him go last year and he got on that plane, you need to know they were looking at where he was going and who was on that plane and the roster of the people that was on that plane with him. They've been tracking him ever since. I guarantee that. Now, as far as anyone else, I don't know. Like, I don't know who else would be in there to inform, but I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people probably won't go to jail that you see in the industry that was at those parties because they were in there giving info to get their ass out of the situation.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh, well, and that's the other thing
Guaranteed.
too. You're exactly right. That's the other thing too. It's because how many of these people are going to, they're going to say, well, I was at the party once, so, and I chose not to go back again. It goes back to you once, like you said, if you went once and went, oh no, I'm not, this is not for me, sorry, peace out, have a nice day. I'm I'm checking out.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving, yeah. Then okay, that you're bad for showing up there. You're bad for being there. But if you've gone more than once to the Diddy parties, and this is what I was telling someone else too. How many people
knowing what went on, right?
Well, and I was listening to talk radio the other day, and this came up obviously, and it's the same. It's kind of the same thing. Is that if you're going to these parties, at what point in time, like Denzel Washington, they brought him up. Denzel said, they say he was at these parties, but he always leaves early before, he's like, when the kids go to bed, it's time for me to go. Like, like when the kids go.
And some people do. Like, think about it. You're at the NBA awards, you're at the, the fashion awards, and the place to be in Hollywood is at this mansion where you're going to go. But, I mean, think about it. The Playboy Mansion, then the Epstein Mansion, then Puff Daddy's mansion. Like, this is, like, if you don't think all this shit didn't happen at Hugh Hefner's house, you're all crazy, because it all shit went down there too, right? It's just that it's just that now they actually have proof. We live in an age now where you can take things and record people, and there's no one's got no privacy no more. You could go live off grid in the woods, Megan, and then have a drone find you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they think that they can get away with these things now, and they just can't. And it's all coming to light because people are going in there with like pen, video cameras and like mechanisms. Did you see that video where Puff, he went up to Bieber and pat him down to see if he was wearing a mic? Did you ever see that clip?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's somebody my heart goes out to, is him and Jaden.
It's just Hollywood is very sick. Hollywood is very, very sick. And
I think
a lot
of for a very long time, Megan.
It's been sick for a very long time. And a lot of people now are just going, oh, I'm just finding out about it and everything else. No, it's been going on for years. It's been going on for decades. 4 decades.
I'm just happy though that the music industry is being exposed now, because we all suspected things for a long, long time, especially when Whitney Houston died. Like, that was like, oh, no. and then Michael, and then I was like, oh, there's some shit happening, right? Like this isn't. And then Prince, when Prince died, Megan, I knew right in my heart of hearts there was some shit going on. Like not like no joke. Like my intuition was like there is some dark, dark, crazy nonsense going on over there right now. And that's when I sat down and started meditating, and I came to the idea that like, there would be a lot of people coming out this year. A lot of things would be caught. And then when the Epstein files came out, I was like, holy shit. And then the whole thing with Oprah and the whole thing with, I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It's just crazy times. It's just crazy times we're in. But the baby lotion, oh my God, the baby oil. Like, as soon as I saw that, I said GHB. Guarantee you,
Yeah.
GHB. It's laced with GHB. I guarantee it. You wait 2 weeks' time, people are going to be coming forward. And of course, sure enough, now they've tested it, and the word on the street is that it was all laced with GHB. That's
Oh, shit.
because oil is a conduit, right? It the only way you can get that type of a drug to absorb into a person's body topically, you have to have like electricity, like it's called like a conductor, right? Like electricity, for electricity to run through something, it has to have a conductor. So be that wood or like wires, what have you. With drugs, it's kind of like the same thing. You have to have something that it will absorb it to then be placed onto the skin. You can't just directly put it on someone's skin, right? So the oil would be the thing that would do the trick. And typically that's what they have found in cases in the past where people have been date raped, drugged, and they've come forward at massage therapy, massage clinics and things like that. And there's something weird happened. I don't, and so when that came forward, I was like, 100,000 gazillion bottles of baby oil. Nope, there's drugs in there. Gotta be drugs in there. So yeah, now they're talking about it, and it's pretty scary. It's just scary stuff. It's like, Jesus, you don't even want to like imagine if you're walking into a party and somebody just throws water on you, or goes to wipe something off your face and they have something on them, and now you've got something topically on your skin that, like, it's scary. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I grew up in the 90s and the 80s, Megan, because we had some fun in our day. I would not want to be a young person today going out and doing all these like parties and going out downtown.
Oh,
I would be terrified.
I say the same thing 100 times over. Like, it's amazing how, people can, like, now I wouldn't touch certain things that I did when I was in college. I wouldn't, that was when like it was in the 90s and the 2000s. Like,
Hmm.
I was able to have some fun and enjoy myself, and I did some partying and everything else. Now I look at it and go, I wouldn't touch anything like that I don't know where something came from, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
because now it's everybody is out for themselves, and they
But
will.
listen, but let me ask you now. I bet you now people understand why a person would walk away from a $10 million deal. Huh? They're
Oh
getting it
yeah,
now, don't they? They get it
yeah.
now because remember when Dave Chappelle left that and it was like, oh my God, he's crazy. Why would you turn your back on $10 million? That's why. You see? That's why. Because they say, hey, in order for you to get this thing, you have to do this thing. You have to get this person to do that third thing, and you have to do this and this. And we're going to take some, videos with you with some underage kids just to be safe. So we have, just some. Oh hell no! Get the fuck up out of there and leave the go off into the woods. I would too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and like you said earlier, all of these people, there's the good ones that are in Hollywood. There are the good guys that that live by
there's not
some.
everybody's bad. No, exactly.
Yeah, they live by the golden rule, and they try their best. They do everything they can to keep it on the up and up. But how many people? But in the industry itself, how many people say I'm a good guy and I never do anything wrong, and then they're the worst one.
I
Like
know.
they
It's like,
are.
yeah, a wolf
They're
in
the
sheep's
worst.
clothing. But there
Yeah,
are some really great people. Okay, like take okay, Morgan Freeman. He's one of the great good ones. Then you've got like Keanu Reeves. He's another great one. You can tell by their actions, Megan. People who just say shit, to me, you got to show your actions.
yeah.
Johnny Depp, he's another good dude. He goes into hospitals all the time dressed as, Captain, Jack Sparrow for all the little kids in cancer units and stuff, like
Well,
whenever
and
he
this is
can.
gonna be, and this is gonna be bigger than Johnny Depp even, because
Oh,
it's gonna be like I said, I watched the Johnny Depp case like like I watched it not once, not twice, but 3 times over. Because
Mhm.
and every time I watched it, there was more that came out about it, or
Mhm.
more that I found that I didn't catch the first time, or I just like,
Right.
or you just were like, she's such a horrible person. But these people are, and Amber Heard is right up there with them. There are people in the industry that are just downright horrible,
Mhm.
horrible people, and this is going to be where, if P Diddy gets out of this in some way, shape, or form, it's going to be like retribution of how he is going to get his name back and say, I didn't do this.
Oh, no, no, he's done. No, no, he's done. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets murdered in prison as well, like Epstein did. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he gets murdered. He will not kill himself.
No,
He's
he
too much
won't.
of a narcissist. He no, he won't. But I'll tell you one thing right now. The next person is there. In my personal opinion, in my opinion only, allegedly. Okay, Jay-Z. So Sean Carter. He's next. Okay, he's at the tippy top of this pyramid, and the guy above him is a dude who is in finance, and I think his name is Burke. I forget. I have to look it up. But he is like this billionaire. He owns all kinds of stuff, and he apparently, let me look it up now. No, I might get booted out. Apparently, so somebody in chat, Mr. A or Jackson or Aqua, if you guys are in there, look up the guy on Google who owns. Let me see, what is it? There's so much that he owns. He owns. Uh, God, he owns so much. I'm just trying to think of something that would bring up a Google feed. Okay, you know what? Do this. Do a Google search. Do Sean Combs or Puff Daddy or P Diddy or whoever sugar daddy. Okay, it's not Clive Davis. It's going to be another dude that pops up. He's been in the industry for a very long time. He's got connections everywhere: media, music, movies, fashion, all of it. And he's been the one that's been sponsoring Sean Combs allegedly since the early '80s, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. And he's a billionaire. This guy, that's why when he went to trial, he's like, yeah, 50 million, I'll give you 50 million on bail. He called him and was like, probably like, hey, like, because he doesn't want his name tarnished. Like, he wants to fight this, right? And so, um, they're very, very close. They've been involved since probably he was very, very young. And then all the stuff that's coming out about his mother being a madame, making him as a young child witness these types of behaviors, and like nobody's a monster. They're made, right? Like nobody comes into this world evil. Like they're babies. Everyone's innocent. People who are monsters are made monsters. That's my opinion. um, you're in an environment or you're around people who indoctrinate you into the evil, occults and things like that. True, but I think that everybody's born innocent, and so now, you kind of see his life and you see where he's coming from. And you see the things, like, no wonder he is the way that he is. And look, like, listen, everybody's entitled to, like, have adult parties and get drunk and, if you want to participate in wild orgies and whatever, like, do your thing. Like, if that's your cheesecake,
Yeah.
go ahead, enjoy a slice. But what I'm saying is, as soon as you start, essaying people, graping people, taking, pornographic images without their consent, bringing in underage children, trafficking sex workers across, state line, you know, passing around certain individuals in the industry to each other, getting, and then being associated with, like, uh, allegedly, in my opinion only, of course, um, Tupac's murder, and Biggie. Now they say Tupac died, or no, sorry, well, I forget whose car. Okay, so wait, now let me think now. He was with Bad Boy Records, so that means that he would have been with East Coast.
Yeah.
East No, he was West Coast. East Coast was Biggie. That's right, New York. Pac was from Cali. Or was it the other way around? Pac went to Cali, joined Snoop Dogg on the label with Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So that means that, okay. So the story goes that there was a hit because of this shit that's been going on for years and years and years with him and other people around him, Sean Combs, allegedly, in my opinion only, um, the hit was on for him that night, that he was supposed to get killed, that he was supposed to be the one shot, but either Tupac or Biggie, whichever one died first, I forget. I think it might have been Pac.
Yeah, Tupac died first.
Right. That either he was involved with having the hit on Pac, or the hit was on Biggie, and on Puffy, but Biggie got shot. I don't know. There's some kind of weird conspiracy on that. Look that up too. That's very interesting.
I'll have to look it up. Very interesting.
Oh, there's so much. It's just such a rabbit hole. You could sit there and listen to this shit all day long and you learn something new. But a lot of the videos are just like, looped stuff that you've already heard, and people are just clicking and baiting at this point for views. But sometimes you can get a nugget and you're like, oh my God, I didn't hear that before. Like, and you tune in and your ears perk up and you're like, wow. And then you do some research and you look the dude up and you're like, holy shit. Like, he owns Sony, he owns Warner, like, it's just, oh God.
Well, it is going to be. I think that P Diddy is going down. I think that he's.
Oh, 100% he's going down. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to tell you something right now. He's not going down alone.
No.
He's going to take everybody he can with him. Guarantee
Well,
that.
it's going to go either way. He's going to take everybody down with him, or he's going to say, I know that I'm going down, and I don't want to have everybody else go down with me. So he's going to say, no, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because he doesn't want to wreck everybody else's career. It's going to go either way, because
Listen,
lots of people.
unfortunately, it's not up to him. It's in those videos. The people who are in those videos, they're going to be arrested regardless. Now, whether they're given a break, whether they're given a deal, whether they're looking for somebody else and they want to get the big guys, the big wigs, the big billionaires, the big ones on top of the pyramid, that's a different story, right? Like, they could say, oh yeah, I know him. I clean houses for him. Oh yeah, I can get you tapes, no problem. You just, 2 years time served and let me out, and no record, and I become an FBI informant and no jail time served, for the rest of my life. That's what they do.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be
boom.
It's gonna be very interesting, and it's gonna be do you think that they're gonna publicize the trial?
A lot of people are going to be like, well, it's kind of been leaked already, but I think that the entirety of it, I mean, there's like over 250 names there's over 250 names. So here's the thing. I don't think they're going to release like the judges and the lawyers and the doctors and the sheriffs and the politicians. Like, there's photos floating around with Bill Clinton. It's disgusting, but allegedly, in my opinion only, I just, saw stuff. But, we are also in the world of the deep fake guys. So let's not forget that, right? This shit could be, a lot of it could be indoctrinated. So, like, they have to go through everything and examine everything with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that it wasn't altered, it wasn't AI, it wasn't, you know what I mean? To make sure that they're authentically real videotapes too. So it's going to take a long time before they go and arrest people.
It's also say, like you said earlier, they wouldn't have arrested him if they didn't have something tangible on him.
Right.
They
That's why I think that's why I think there's somebody from the inside for a long time.
The dogs don't swing for the big dogs unless you have proof, or unless you have it's kind of like what I say about when someone's being chased by the airplane that's got the light on it, or the helicopter that's got the light on it, and they're chasing them. That doesn't just happen because you're a good guy. You know what I mean? Like you don't have someone going, oh, this is what the good part of me. They don't arrest someone because they feel like, oh, this is what I want to do today. No, if he did something, if they wouldn't have gone a whole hell bells on him and said, we're gonna take him out right now, if they didn't have enough evidence to where it's not circumstantial,
Right.
They would only do it
Okay,
because
and who on the list okay, like you know a few of them that have been out already, like, you know, what was some of them that were shocking to you? Because for me it was J-Lo. J-Lo, that was shocking. I know, and you know, I was like, what?
I think
I was like,
Steve Harvey
what?
shocks me a little bit, like, because I think that he's such a family guy. He's just such a the fact
Nah,
that he
that's
went
too
on.
obvious. Those ones that
Yeah,
do that, they're always the dirty ones. That's
well,
what
and
I
it's
think.
like him leaving town, him jumping and going out of the country. He obviously doesn't
People
want.
have been deleting their Twitter accounts the day before. Oh, the Kardashians allegedly are involved as well.
Yeah,
Like with the trafficking stuff.
yeah. Oh
Apparently,
no, it's gonna.
allegedly.
This is gonna be this is gonna take a lot of Hollywood people and their careers down the tubes.
Oh, they're done. Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll never rectify their career. I think the
no,
music industry and the like the movie industry, like fame is now going to be a dirty word, and I think that it's about time because you have too many people. Like, let's take it back to what it used to be about the music, about the industry, about the craft, about the movies. Like, it wasn't about let's indoctrinate as many people into an evil cult as possible. Let's not
yeah,
brainwash the world, which is likely why it was invented in the first place, in my opinion. But anyway, that's another conversation. But I think that there comes a time when, as a society, we have to say enough is enough. Like, do we want to just worship all these false idols and be fame mongers? Because like it just shows you, like, people, you could be famous and be like a horrible person. So
yeah,
what you're doing essentially is you are buying and supporting their record and feeding their habits and feeding their disgusting under the dark web situations, and God only knows what the hell these people get up to, right? And it's kind of like, I mean, I would not, if, like, for example, um, if it was 100, like if they were in trial and 100% proven that this person did this, this, and this, I would never support that actor or that musician ever again. You know, I mean, like, take Michael Jackson, that's a hot topic, but I mean, a lot of people still listen to his music. I personally think he was not that person. I think he was innocent. I've always felt he was innocent intuitively. I never thought for 1 second that he did anything to those children. And now we have everybody that
Oh,
accused him now coming
I
forward
always
and
thought,
saying
I
they
always thought,
lied. It's
yeah,
like, you know,
I've always thought I've always thought Michael
but
Jackson was a good
But if
guy.
you
Like,
but Megan, if you said it back then, you were given the look of hell, like, who are
yeah,
you supporting a pedophile? Like, what the fuck, right? Just because you had an opinion that you thought maybe he wasn't, but maybe he was. Like, we don't know. That's the point, right? I'm trying to make is like, just because you love a musician or an actor or something, and it's very difficult to like, for me with the Ashton Kutcher thing, like I can't wrap my head around that one. Like, that's the one thing that it's just kind of having a hard time with. So for me, that's the one I'd be like, oh, I really don't want to believe it. I really don't want to believe it. Until the proof is there, like I'm not going to really entertain that. But like Steve Harvey and all these other people, like Ellen DeGeneres, allegedly, Oprah, allegedly, like these people have had issues in the past, have had allegations, there's been shady shit there anyway. So it makes sense that, where there's shade,
yeah,
there's probably darkness.
where there's
Right?
smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right. Where
Like,
there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's shade, there's secrets, right? So it's kind of
yeah.
like, I don't know. It's a gross topic and it's depressing, but it is where the world's at now. It's
Well,
just.
and in here, in this day, and in this day and age of social media, the way social media is that there's gonna, this is taking the world by storm. And it's and how many people have a public opinion of
Hmm.
something that we've all, like you said, like we've all had people that we idolize and that we never thought could do wrong, but then
Right.
but now we're finding out that they can do wrong. They can be
Hmm.
horrible. They can
Yeah.
be the worst of the worst. And we're dealing with the people in Hollywood that are the worst of the worst. And I think there's more to come. And I think
Oh, yeah.
P. Diddy, like you said, he's not, if he's going to go down, he's going to take a lot of celebrities down with him. He's going to say, if their name's not brought into it, he's not going to bring it in. But if their name is being brought into it, he's going to sell his soul to the devil. Like he
He's
at this
already
point,
the devil.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he's already the devil. I think he's been the devil. He's been the devil. He's been one of them in Hollywood for a very long time, and he's just getting caught. They all get caught eventually, Megan. What is going
Yeah.
on in my microwave? Trying to cook a potato. That's all I want to do. There. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like we live, like you said, we live in a day and age where nobody can get away with this stuff anymore. Like you can't, like whatever is hidden always becomes unhidden. Like if you're going to carry your own secrets, know that they're going to come out. Like that's just the world we're in now, and it's a good thing because you know listen, it's hard. Even you turn on the news, you don't. I mean, it's like the same news channel across 50 different countries, 50 different, news outlets say the goddamn saints, pardon my language, say the same friggin' thing over and over and over. Like they're scripted. Everyone's scripted with this, story of this or story of that, or no, this lyrics mean this, it doesn't mean that. Like bullshit. It's some dark, shady shit going on out there. And we're all sick and tired of it in the media, in politics, in life. Like we just want things to be normal. Like I'm even thinking about going back to church for God's sakes, because every time you turn around, it just feels like we're in the end times. I mean, God, let's like send some hearts out to people in Florida and North Carolina, like the floods and everything those poor people are going through. It's awful.
Yeah.
The world's in devastation, and we have to send some loving light up and pray that everything will get cleaned up and rectified, and the evildoers will be exposed, which they are. And like you said, there will be a lot more people who you would never expect come into this situation and be exposed for what they really are, and then you won't see them again. They'll disappear, or they'll be put in jail, and that's that.
I
And
think that there's a lot of people that are going to come out of the woodwork on this, and well, it's just like the Garth Brooks accusations. That's the newest one. There's going to be a lot of things that people are going to start to say, jump on the bandwagon and say he did this, he did this, he did this to me, he did this to me, and you're going to have to figure out who's the people that want the attention that are jumping on the bandwagon versus the people that are actually hurting versus just people that have gone through this. And these guys, it could be every time it's a guy right now. Wait till it's a girl. Wait till it's someone.
I was just gonna say that. Like, wait till something like, oh my God, Madonna's all of a sudden in the news. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Which I don't know. Like, take Beyonce. They're saying she's a witch, right? Allegedly, like a dark witch. Now, nothing wrong with Wiccan. People can, live their own lifestyle and religious beliefs and whatever, but there is a darkness to everything, right? And they're saying that she is very, very dark. Now, this theory is that, Sean Combs, who is Jay-Z, Sean Combs is P. Diddy. Sorry, Sean Carter
I
is
was just saying, no,
Jay-Z.
that's not Jay-Z. That's
Yeah,
Peter.
yeah. So they're saying that he's above that. So the pyramid's supposed to go like this, right? This white dude who like owns half of Hollywood, okay, and a
Yeah.
lot of the media outlets and a lot of grocery stores and clothing things and all this. Okay, there's him, and then Clive Davis. They work sort of in conjunction but not together, so to speak. And then you had Jeffrey Epstein, who was in the financial sector. Like it's like a spider, right? Like an octopus. Like there's tentacles everywhere, right? Like
Yeah.
Epstein was in the finance world with the politicians. Okay, then you had Jay-Z, and you had they groomed him for that position. Like he was placed there to be this person, okay, for the music industry, a gatekeeper they call them, right? And so he was the one to do the bad things for that area. And then you had Harvey Weinstein in the Hollywood, right? You had Harvey, so he was another gatekeeper, allegedly. So there's and then it goes even deeper. It's in the law firms. It's in I mean, it probably goes as high as the tippy top. Like there's probably these weird things that happen with families that you would least expect it, like least expect that. Like take the church. I mean, oh my God, that dude that was involved in all this with what is his name? TJ, TK, whatever. What was his name? T Max or T something. Anyway, he's supposed to be this big, huge, important, pastor in Los Angeles somewhere, and
Oh yeah, TK. I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Tykes or
he,
Nikes or yeah, that guy.
big black guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, really? Like, now I know that the church is, whatever, but it's like, oh, it just makes you sick.
Stokes. Is it TJ Stokes?
That's it. Something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Or
yeah, he's a big
TK
pastor.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a pastor, and and that's what I'm saying. How many people are going to be taken, for a ride on this? That really have, to go through all of this and really
Be
have,
exposed.
yeah, yeah. TK Stokes, is that his name? I want to say
Yeah, something
TK.
like that. I want to say TK Stokes or TJ I don't know, whatever. But yeah.
But how many people? But there's so many people that are going to go down in this that have built their careers on trying to have the best intentions, and I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
where that's where it's going to be sad too, because a lot of these people, even though they're dirty, they've tried their best to stay on the up and up. But when you get like this is what I was saying to someone else about these parties and everything else is how many people went to the parties. And like you said, what Monson was like, oh, this is
Oh, you're roboting, I think. Or is
and
that me?
then
Oh, is it me, you guys, or is it
how
Megs?
like the real like the people that were
Is that me that's you guys, or is that Megs? I can't tell. All I hear is robots. Was that me roboting, or was that Megan? I don't know. Oops. Hi, Art. It's Megs. Okay, phew. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm just joking.
Can you hear me
Meg,
now?
she'll. Yeah, I can hear you. I thought it was me for a second. I was like, oh no.
No, it's me. I went to my car.
Okay.
And like how many people were innocent at these parties that had no clue about what was going on? But
Well, that's just it,
it's
right? Like
Meg.
they're gonna know who these people are. Like they're gonna do their research. They're gonna have, they're gonna question all these people who get caught on these tapes and say, okay, was he here? Okay, was he there? Okay, is there any tapes on them? Did you participate? Like they're gonna interview. These people will be like investigated, right? Now, just because, like I said earlier, just because you went to a Diddy party doesn't mean you partook in the party favors or partook in the drug use or even drank or even stayed for the after party situation, right? Like, so you had people just stopping by for photo ops, it was a place where you went where, if you wanted to get high up in your career, it was the party place to be. It was kind of like if you got your picture taken with a Kardashian, then, your Instagram channel went up or your, whatever, like that's how it is. And so, you have probably everyone in the industry has been at that house at some point in given time, right?
Well,
Everyone.
that's what I was gonna say is how many, and exactly what you said earlier. How many people went to the party beforehand, and when the after part when the party was over and everybody was leaving, and then you stay for the aftermath. How many people stayed for the aftermath just to check it out? Just to see if it's
Right.
for
Just
real.
to see if it's for real. I mean, like, oh shit, and then bolt, right? And then start talking. And then all of a sudden, you're invited back for a regular party, but you're dosed, allegedly, right? Thrown in the back room. Got a video on you. Oh, who you gonna tell now, bitch? You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. It's
Did you hear about
creepy
the
and
naked?
scary and evil.
Did you hear about the naked basketball games? Oh my God, no.
Ew, yuck. No.
Yeah,
But I know there are some athletes involved in this too. Yeah, that's what's been said. Allegedly, in my opinion only. Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
crazy.
how many people. This is what I was telling someone also recently is that how many people were the attraction, like how many people came
Right.
there like to be
Well, they're saying that the main attraction peeps where there's 12 main, right? So one was J-Lo. That's what they're saying allegedly, right? One was J-Lo allegedly. One was the one of the Kardashians, right? Allegedly. Allegedly there are tapes being sold underground of Bieber, allegedly. Okay, that he didn't even know he participated
You
in
know, Justin
until
Bieber, out of all of this, I honestly feel bad for
my
Justin Bieber.
heart my
My
heart
heart
goes
breaks
out
for
to
him
him.
because
I feel
my
bad for
because
Usher too, but Usher was groomed, right? Like that's the thing. When you're in that
well,
industry,
and this is, I was gonna say
it
this is
doesn't make it
also
any
goes
better.
back.
It doesn't make it wrong. It
No,
doesn't
it
make it
doesn't make
right.
it any
But
better. It doesn't make it any better. But if you like when Justin Bieber, you know, when he was found by Usher, he was what, 13, 14 years old, and he was, you know, thrown into the industry of these monsters, of the
right.
monsters.
And
And
Usher being a part of that knew better allegedly if that had happened to him, and then him to just pass him over like that to the wolves is just, in my opinion, just as bad, just as guilty.
well, and then, like he, you know, Justin Bieber didn't stand a chance. You know, like what, like he, like you know, his career was based on what everybody could do for him at the time. And
Yeah.
I don't care who says what, or you know, Justin Bieber would have gone big anyway. I don't care if someone says that anyway. But you know, he was in a point in time where it's like he's the good apple in the situation, but he turned into a bad apple because of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean,
he didn't have a chance. He didn't have the chance to say he did. You know, what is he supposed to say?
he didn't even know it was wrong until it was over. Like, you know what I mean? Probably
Right.
sort of situation. Yeah, I
His
know.
parents sold him out. Yeah. I mean, they
Well, you
it just
see him see them spiral. And honestly, like now that I think about this and I watch these videos and I'm like,
too
wow,
early
like
for Oprah token
you
though.
if you look back and like in retrospect and see like look at Eminem, like how do you know like this shit didn't go down with Eminem? Like how do you know like he wasn't SA? Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
why he left the industry for a little while, had to get his head right, and he was addicted to drugs, and he was, all this kind of thing, just like what Bieber's going through, right? Like you don't know what the hell goes down in these underground societies, and that's the scary thing. It's like if you want to be a millionaire, it is at a cost. Like to be in that industry, there is a cost to be paid. There really is. And like I said
There is
earlier,
absolutely a cost that
when you pass
there
that threshold,
absolutely there absolutely is a cost that has to be paid. And unfortunately it's your body or it's your self-esteem and it's your
mhm.
and it's like if you say no, what is the repercussions of no? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
like
Like
because
the fashion industry is likely, I think, going to be targeted next because if you think back to the history of, certain houses in, haute couture in the 40s and 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, and even today, like look at Bellagio and all that, right? Like there's and they did kind of go there a little bit, but they didn't go as far as they should have because they're still around and people still buy their shit. And it's kind of like, I mean, listen, Kanye was trying to warn us. We all thought Kanye was shit back crazy, but he was trying to
yeah.
tell everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, and Kanye West, I mean, that's a whole nother thing too. If he gets
Ugh,
involved, which he's going to get involved in some way, shape, or form, because he's not going to, he's going to say, "I told you all this. I told you all this. I told you all this," and he's going to be, that's the other thing is what is the industry going to do with the bad guy? Like
yeah.
now that P Diddy is the bad guy, think about how many like Diddy did it. It's like Amber Turd, like it's
Hmm.
all of those things. And what is the industry going to do to these folks that have that that have been there or were there at one
Yeah.
point in time? And now that they're on the list, even if they did nothing wrong, they're still on the list.
Yeah,
There's
I know.
there's
Their reputation's tarnished, either even if they did something or didn't at this point.
yeah. There,
Yeah.
and that's like, I mean, like it's like Ellen and all of her stuff that everybody
That
thought
doesn't
she was,
surprise me.
yeah,
She does
that
not
doesn't,
surprise me. Anne Hesh was, I think Anne Hesh was murdered. She was about to do a documentary on the sex trafficking ring in Hollywood. And she all of a sudden ended up smashed into a friggin' house with her car on coke that she hadn't done coke in years. Like, so weird, right? Who's her ex, Ellen?
yeah.
Who's Ellen? Who's Ellen connected to? P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I could just
Well,
connect
like
dots. It's not hard. Allegedly,
and yeah. Everything that's being said right now is just our opinion.
allegedly.
Yeah, we don't know anything. We know
We don't want to be
nothing.
sued. We know shit. We're just like, tossing around the information ball here. We don't know if it's truthful
we
or
know
not.
nothing about nothing. We were
No,
not at the P Diddy parties.
we don't know shit. We don't know shit. That'll be the
I was
next thing
not
over at
invited.
Shan.
I was
They'll be
that's
over
one
there
party.
telling everybody.
That is one party that I'm glad I was not invited to.
I know. Roseanne Barr, she spoke about those parties back in the day too. Nobody believed her. Nobody believed her. She's like, "Oh yeah, they got those,
Art was at the parties. Art was
devil."
at the party.
She's saying, yeah, they are Satan worshiping occult parties. They do. There's blood. There are children involved, and it's sick. And people thought she was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, like it's all coming out, and I just feel so sorry for all these children, and I don't know. It's just, oh God, it's so gross. And the thing is like a lot of people knew about it and turned a blind eye. So I'm curious to see what happens with those people too that did nothing.
Hello, Mr. Aaron. How are you? Anybody that wants to come up is more than welcome. Art, come on up. Aaron, if you want to come up. I think that there's so many people that are going to be their reputations, their name,
Yeah.
their livelihood. That's what also people have to realize. How many millions and millions of dollars right now are being, tossed around going, I'm not going to support this person. I'm not going to support this person. I'm not supporting this person anymore. And, they say that right now, but in 5 years from now, they're going to be like, oh, I thought this, or I thought this, or I thought this. And they're going to change their tune and try to get in and try to make back their career because they're not getting paid. They're not on the, how this is going to change.
Okay, you got to look at it this way though. How are we going to know, right? Like, where's the discernment here as a public eye? Like, how do we know if, say, movie star A, right?
Yeah,
went
you're
to
right.
the party, went to the party, okay, maybe partook in, say, some sexual activities above board, no drugs involved, consensual, just plain up a lot of dirty sex orgies, okay? But your reputation's tarnished now because maybe you're a preacher. There's that case, okay? You ain't coming back from that. I don't care what you tried to do. You're no longer going to be a preacher in anybody's church. All right?
And like
Now,
Aaron said, $1 million isn't a lot in 2024. No, it's not. You're absolutely right, Aaron. It's not. And that's when these people are going to start saying $1 million. They're not going to care.
there's another claim coming out too. I saw it tonight. She hasn't filed yet, but they're filing tomorrow. Who's come forward with allegations of SA from P. Diddy as well. It's a woman, and she claims that she was drugged as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
with the oil.
here's the other thing, and it's unfortunate too. How many of these women that are coming forward chose to go to they chose to go to the party? How many of them said, I willingly went? Because if you let's be honest,
listen now, hang on. A lot of them did willingly go because they were sex workers, okay? What they didn't sign up for was this, to be drugged and transported to a different area where other people took advantage. That's the thing, okay? Number two, you cannot say like, oh, I was at a party, I was into this other actor, we went upstairs, I was in there waiting for him on the bed, expecting to have sex with him, I passed out, but guess who had sex with me? 5 other fucking guys, I don't even know who they were. That's another case scenario that's gone on up there too, right? So there's all kinds of shit that we don't even know like who's involved with what at this point. So it's hard to say, but I'm just saying, like, there's going to be categories, right? There's going to be like the preacher that didn't do anything illegal, but yet, oh my God, it's so wrong, right? And then you have people who have, maybe they're heartthrobs in the industry and they have their job because they're a heartthrob, but maybe they're secretly gay, like Will Smith. Okay, maybe he didn't do anything wrong, but just be gay and not be out about it, right? And then you have the deep, dark, dirty, nasty shit, right? That we won't get into because we said enough about it as it is. that, those are the cases that you're going to see prosecuted. Those cases that get prosecuted, and you need to know there was dirty shit, and that's why they're being brought into it, guaranteed. Because just because
Yeah.
you were at a party participating in consensual sex does not mean that you did A, B, C, and D, and E, right?
Right. No,
And there are a
you're
lot of
100%.
men as well. There are a lot of men that were also taken advantage of, as were these sex workers that were women. Okay, and guests and friends and young actors and young females, and trying to get into the industry as well, not just sex workers, but when then were trafficked and took to the island, because he's got an island too, right? Do you guys know that? He
I
has
think
an
the average
he's got an
home
island
in the
too.
U.S. is 412,000, and they are likely close to 500,000 there. I know. I don't know, Aaron. I live in a van down by the river. You're right, Aaron. I live in California, and he's absolutely right. The average home in California is $1 million. Is $1 million. Especially where I live, it is. There's no house here that is under $1 million. Like
Yeah.
a tear down house. Hi, Daniel. Um,
Hi,
the the
Daniel.
the that lots of these people are going to be going down, and money, as much as money talks and money walks, that these people are going to be, there's going to be people that are going to be saying, I didn't know this, I didn't know this, I didn't know this. How many times do they get away with, I didn't know this? Bullshit, you didn't know it. There's, and how many people are now saying, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, when they did do it. And it's
Well, they have video proof. That's the difference now. They've got video proof, and if you're on the videos, they can prosecute you. That's it. You're done. You can't, when, like I said, but first they have to prove they're not deep fakes, right? And once that's proven, then then you're going to see heads roll. But like I said, the category goes as follows: A, you did some shady shit, but it's not illegal. Your reputation is tarnished forever. B, you did some shady shit. It's not illegal, but maybe you're now ruined your livelihood because it was based on a specific heterosexual identity. Okay, and then C, the shady shit, right? So it's kind of like that. So regardless if you did anything or not, these parties, you're still going to be called as witnesses. You're still going to be called in to be prosecuted, not prosecuted, interviewed, right? To see what you know and who you saw there, and take names. Like this isn't this is gonna
no.
last a long time. It's not going to be an overnight trial. It's not going to be like this. You won't see shit happen until 2025 on this one.
Oh,
If he
you're not going to
survives
see it until
there.
2026. You're not going to see it till 2026. There's so much that they have to get their ducks in a row. And like I said, they they didn't go and say, oh, this. They didn't just go in and say, we're going to go arrest P Diddy. No, they had
They had a plan.
they had their ducks in a row. They went in, they seized everything, and they got everything and everything else. Like they there's someone that's in P. Diddy's, that was in P. Diddy's corner, that's not in P. Diddy's corner now, that is going to say, that's going to come forward and say, I couldn't handle this anymore. I had to break them on, I had to break it up. And that's going to be, like
Who?
Jay-Z. That's going to be Jay-Z. That's going to be,
Jay-Z heard of this. About he's got allegedly he's a part of it. He's been a part of it. Jay-Z started these parties. Jay-Z funded all these parties.
Oh,
Jay-Z
great.
funded all these parties. He's in this. Him and Beyonce have been. Listen, Aaliyah, she was murdered too, I think, and allegedly, in my opinion only, they had a lot to do with that. Her death, because Aaliyah was Beyonce till Beyonce became Beyonce. You follow?
Yeah.
Like this goes back to 1988. Like this is not, and then some.
They're now saying P. Diddy killed Tupac. It's never. This is gonna be.
Well, the new rumor is that that the hit was for P. Diddy and Tupac got it.
Yeah,
that's what the rumor was. But Pac said himself that if he dies, it's because of him. So we know
they could have evidence. If not
only that, but I think they have Kim Porter on tape when they release these tapes, right? That she does say that she was in the room when he was talking about the hit on Pac, apparently, allegedly. So there's a lot. And then when they arrested what's his face for the murder, right? I think that was a ruse. I think he's been in protective custody. I don't even think he's in jail. I think he was part of this whole thing that's been going on since then. When they arrested that guy there that was involved in the shooting. God, what's his name? You remember? Not the bodyguard who, wrote all the books and shit and he's out and whatever. The other dude that was apparently there that night, his cousin. Young fella's cousin. I forget his name. Anyway, he's in jail, but he's been probably singing like a bird, right?
They could have
And
evidence, if not, if they could have evidence, if not, anyone can say anything. I could say Megan drugged me to take advantage of me, have to have their ducks in a line. Yeah,
that's right.
well,
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Mhm.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be saying, I didn't, they're going to say, I didn't know this, because they're going to try to save their career. That's the other thing too, is how many people are in this are going to say, I don't want anything to do with it. I didn't do this. I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't mine. It wasn't me. I wasn't there. Even if they have videotape of them being there.
Yeah, I don't know. Be like, isn't this you though?
Yeah,
in this tape?
like,
Because
I
I
see
think
you
a lot
right
of
here.
shit's going to get leaked. I think what's going to happen is if these people don't get prosecuted, right? I think there are certain people in the industry that have had it, and I think that there are certain people who are going to leak this after the fact to make, because Epstein, that never got sorted, and the public wanted to know, and we never knew. We never found out really, right? It was behind closed doors. He died. Da 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 da. So be it, right? I think that the public's not going to let this go. They're going to want to know who was where and with what and whatever, and I think that if the people that are accused of this prosecution or whatever, regardless if they're guilty or not, regardless if it's a deep fake or if it's an actual real, video of the event, like, we as the people are not going to know the difference, because I can't spot a deep fake from a real. I've seen a lot of them and I'm like, what? I thought that was real. The shit they can do is crazy.
Well,
so,
and that's the other thing.
You're not going to
is
know.
a very good point. How many people are going to say that wasn't me? That was an impersonation of me. Like someone impersonating me. So that wasn't me. Because look at how many people look like, that look like celebrities that, have made themselves look like celebrities. Like they have gone underneath the knife to do that. And now they're at these parties and they're going to be like, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. When they absolutely were there, but they're going to say, no, it wasn't me. Like it's going to.
Well, the prosecution, like I said, the courts will be able to, hire those people to testify in court to say whether or not it was a deep fake. It's the public that are never going to know. It's the public that are going to be, holding these people accountable. So regardless, I guess is what I'm trying to say is you're right. It doesn't really matter who, if the names are out there, they're out there and your career's done. Like, it doesn't matter if if people just suspect, okay, because you were on that list,
Crazy mama.
you went there and they suspect, then, like, I think your career's done. Like, I do.
Crazy
I think,
mama showing her booty.
hey girl, what's up?
She is showing that booty.
Is she? God bless her heart.
Megs, you are showing your booty in your picture. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, anyways, I'm done yapping. I'm going to get down and eat, but I'll come up later. I just wanted to pop up and say hi. I didn't expect to get into this huge ass debate with Sean Combs allegedly
Oh shit, I forgot.
horrific things.
I'll be right back. I did that to prove a point. she has her picture. She has a booty in her picture.
Ooh, girl.
And she says, oh shit, I was doing that to prove a point. What point were you trying to prove? Show my ass?
Trying to say kiss my ass.
Probably. Kiss my ass. My
kiss
sweet
my
ass.
grits. Mm-hmm. Hey, crazy mama. But yeah, I'm gonna get down and eat, and then if you're still, I'll probably still listening or whatever, and then I'll check back in and maybe pop up after a bit. Maybe Mama can pop up for a minute or two, take my spot.
All righty.
Come on, Mountain Mama. Take my spot, girl. I need to get down and do some eating. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I'm hungry. Hungry.
She's gonna be
So,
hangry. Are you gonna be hangry
yeah.
soon?
Yeah, I'm going to be hangry.
Hangry, hangry.
Hangry hippo.
Well,
Anyway.
I now want to dive more into it because I want, I want to know everything so that when, because I want to know where I believe I stand. You know what I mean? I think that's the
Yeah.
other thing is that, like, someone said, "Do you think P. Diddy's innocent?" And I don't think he's innocent. Like after the whole way he treated, like he treated the way he beat Cassie to death.
Oh,
Um,
God. Just that alone,
yeah,
he's a scumbag. Like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter anything that you say about P. Diddy after that video came out of what he did to Cassie. There is no, if he will do that to someone that he supposedly loves and that he actually cares about,
mm-hmm.
then what's to say that, if he's got a hooker he's like, I'm gonna get a hooker and I'm gonna beat the shit out of her. And there
For
and he
fun.
goes for fun, yeah. And then, oh, here's a couple $1 million for you to just shut up and not talk about it. How many,
Yeah. Sign this
like,
NDA if you want to come into this house.
yeah, and you can never, and if you don't, I will have you murdered. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how many backwood deals were done that
Like,
we
how many
don't know?
prostitutes went up there thinking they were going to make a couple grand in one night, ended up, in the
Yeah.
emergency, but couldn't say shit because they signed an NDA, and that's that. Probably
Well,
hundreds,
yeah, and
thousands.
and if someone's willing to do that, um, if someone's willing to do that to someone they know, let's not say love, because you can't love someone and do that to someone. That if
No.
you are willing to do that to someone that you know, think what you're willing to do to someone that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's willing to drop kick her and he's willing to punch her and he's willing to do all those things. I mean, he's not,
Where the hell's my mute button so you don't hear me munching? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm listening.
people are going to say, like when someone asked me, do you think he's innocent? No. If he's willing to do that to her, how many other people is he willing to do that to and think that he's not going to get caught? You know what I mean? Like it just, it's not peaceful. It's not a good, it's not, he's a sick man regardless.
Not to mention, there are hundreds of women going through therapy going, holy shit, that actually happened. I thought that was a dream. Damn it.
Well,
Right?
you're exactly right. Like
Because
how many
these
people,
women have what this drug does. I don't know if people know this about HGB, but is that what I said it was? HGB?
HDB,
Okay,
HDB, HDB, what or
whatever it's
PH,
called.
GHB. There we go.
That's it, GHB. Thank you. What they don't know about that is that it wipes your brain like you have Alzheimer's. You have no recollection. No, last thing you remember is having that sip. That's it. You can't recall anything. You don't know what the fuck just happened. As far as you know, 2 minutes have gone by, but then you look down and oh my God, my leg's bleeding and my hair is wrecked and what the hell? Why do I hurt everywhere? And you know what I mean? That's what happens. Or they'll end up they wake up in some hotel room completely naked and they're beat all to hell and they don't know what happened to them, right? That's what that drug
Right.
does. That drug is that powerful. You don't remember anything until like say months later after you maybe go to counseling and you start to put pieces together and then your memory starts to come back, but it doesn't wipe it like forever. It's just like a temporary thing that happens, right? That's why a lot of the times when these women come forward, it's years later because they have to process everything and go through the proper channels to get the hypnosis to realize like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I went to this thing and I went with this guy willingly because he was cute and I thought we hooked up, but I didn't know I was with 10 other guys that night. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's what happens to these poor girls. And it's a shame because it's probably been happening for a very, 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 very long time. Um, and I'm just glad that at least one monster is being brought to justice. And I hope they find the others. I hope the other people are held accountable who are involved in it. And I hope that the public believe it.
Priscilla!
And, I just hope that some of these people can find peace and heal from all of this. That's my wish. But anyways, I love you, girl. I'm jumping down. I'll be back.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Kursuma! It happened to my daughter and her friend. Yeah. Hi, Kursuma. Hi, Kursuma. All right. I've now mopped the kitchen floor. That's done. I've now cleaned that up. That's done. Now we just have to, hello, hello, hello. Vacuum upstairs. Oh, I was going to ask how to close your, I was going to ask how close are you to being done. I've got one more floor to vacuum, which is not that big. And then I have, um, and then I'm just got to kind of go over, make sure there's no hair anywhere. And then I'm going to be done. And then I just have to do this final push and I'm out the door very soon. Never ending this house. Hooray! Yeah. Then I think I have a couple days off. Thank God. I just have to clean that. All right, let me vacuum this real quick. I'm gonna mow. You guys vacuum real quick. Oh, did I forget to mute? Sorry, guys. Did I just blow your all eardrum? All right, guys. I'm gonna finish this house. I'm gonna get it going, and I will be back after I'm done. I will go live tonight when I get home because I will have time to relax. So, and we will go live again. So, I will talk to you guys all soon, and love you all, and have a great day.